Today I thought we'd take a quick look at these two McFarlane Batman lines from the comic book Hush. Now, I've got to say, Hush is probably one of the best Batman storylines that I've ever read. When I first read it in 2003, I was absolutely blown away. Not only did it have a really good story, but the artwork was awesome. The artist was Jim Lee, and I'm sure at some point I'd actually come across his work, but Batman Hush was the first time that I actually took note, and I actually started to look for other comic books by Jim Lee because I thought his artwork was so beautiful. And now when I do see a piece of Jim Lee's artwork, there is no denying who it belongs to. He's one of a kind, he really is, and his art is absolutely out of this world. So of course when McFarlane actually released action figures based on this comic book, of course I had to buy them, and here they are. Now I've got to say straight away that I picked this one up first, and I picked this one up second. This one, straight away, before I've even opened it, I can tell that there are issues with it. Now, I purchased these figures within a week of each other. I purchased this one first and then I purchased this one second. To me, I think I've already got my favourite. I think this one is the best, hands down. This one could have been a match, but there are certain faults on it which I just cannot ignore. That's not to say that it isn't a nice figure, because it is. I do like it, but there are some faults on this figure that I just can't ignore, and we're going to get into that right now when we do the unboxing.
Okay, so, there's the shovel. So as we actually pull it out the package, you can see in there we have this kind of graveyard diorama set, which was one of the main reasons I bought it. I thought it just looked really nice, and I thought it'd be really nice to display the figures on here. And we get the usual McFarlane trading cards as well. Okay, so there's the trading card of Hush, and there's the trading card of Batman. I've actually bent it a little bit, never mind. And here we have the graveyard display piece, which I will fix up in a little bit. And we also have two bases to stand Batman and Hush on. And we actually get quite a well-detailed shovel, which is included in the box. I wish they would have coloured in this dirt around the edge. That's something I can do, but it would have been nice to have that coloured in a brown or a darker colour. And we also get these very two plain looking batarangs. I think we'll start with having a look at Hush. And straight out the box, it's a very nice figure. The sculpting on it is beautiful. I like all the sculpting detail on the coat, how they've got all the folds in and the flaps. As you turn it round, it carries on all the way around, which is very nice. I think they could have put a little bit more detail around the belt area and some of the buttons. That's an ongoing issue with McFarlane. Sometimes they don't put enough detail in. Sometimes the figures look absolutely amazing. But it's quite an easy fix. I can actually touch this up myself if I decide to. But all in all, it's a very nice figure, and I think the face sculpt is especially nice. I like this open mouth pose he's got here. I like how they've sculpted inside the mouth, the teeth and the tongue. It's really nice. It's looking very, very sharp. Actually, it's really good. But in all honesty, I didn't actually buy this box set for the Hush figure. I bought it for Batman. I collect mainly Batmen, so even though this figure's nice, it's not actually what I wanted out of the box set. I just wanted Batman. So there we go, we've had a look at Hush, so we'll just put him to one side now. And here's the Batman, and I've just attached the base to his foot because I was having a little bit of trouble making him stand. He stands a lot better with the base. I'm glad they included that. And as you can see straight away, there is something obviously wrong with it, and if you can't see it, allow me to point it out. It's the joints in the arm. They've actually painted it fully black going into the greyness of his suit, and it doesn't quite look right. This is something that upset me when buying it. When I initially picked it up in the shop, to be honest, for some reason I didn't notice. I just didn't notice it. It was only when I got it home and I was having a look at it. It's blindingly obvious now. I don't know how I missed it in the shop, but this for me is a big issue. But I suppose if it's posed in the right way, I could probably make it look, somewhat decent. I can probably hide these colour differences. But it is a massive mistake by McFarlane to make. They are normally quite good when it comes to detail and painting. But, it is what it is. We can't do anything about it now. on whole, the figure, I think, is actually very, very nice. It's a really, really nice Batman figure. It's probably one of the nicest ones. It's just this that lets it down. As you see, we've got some very nice detail on the bat emblem. I really like that bigger bat emblem style there. I'm not quite sure if it is the same bat emblem that was in Hush. It looks slightly different to me. Actually, it's not far off it. Actually, it's quite accurate. Actually, I take that back. So as we bring the figure closer, you can see it is very nicely detailed. McFarlane very rarely let me down. I am a McFarlane collector when it comes to Batman, and I tend to like every single figure they brought out so far. This is the only one I've had issues with. If I'm being honest, it probably doesn't upset me as much as it would other people, but it is a big issue. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about it now. As we turn the figure around, you can see that the cape, once again, is very nicely sculpted. They always do a really good job on the capes with the McFarlane figures. A few of them I have opted to change and customise the capes myself, but straight out of the box, the capes are always quite nice. I do quite like them. And as we pull it closer, we can see that the belt is all painted yellow. I think McFarlane could have put a little bit more detail in, maybe to the buttons, but all in all, it is nice. And I suppose in the comic book, it does seem to be painted all yellow on some of the pages at least. And here we have it set up on its display piece, and I think this is actually the set's main selling point. This display set is actually very, very nice. I love the headstone, what says "Here lies Jason Todd." The detail on the actual ground is amazing. They've got all this rubble, soil, bricks in there. Looks really, really good. And as you can see, I've posed it in such a way where the colour difference in the joints doesn't really pose much of a problem. I would say you can't actually notice it from this angle. So, all in all, I think it is a very good solid set from McFarlane, and I picked it up for around £30, which in my opinion is a bargain, because you're getting two figures here from like £15 each, and you, in a way, you're getting this set piece here free of charge. I think it is a really nice set. But they did bring a variant figure out to this one not long after, the blue and grey variant, and is it a better figure? Let's find out. And here we have him out of the box, and I am using the base again because he is quite top heavy and I'm having trouble getting him to stand. See, I'm using the base again because I am actually having a bit of trouble making him stand. I think he is very top heavy, but with the stand, he stands no problem. And as you can see straight away, I think this figure is the better one. It is definitely more eye-catching. I really do like the blue and the grey, which is a weird thing for me to say because as a kid, I never used to like the blue and the grey. I wasn't a fan of it, but I think this really pops on this figure. It really makes it stand out. I think overall, it is the same figure as this one. We'll bring it closer in a minute and have a closer look, but for some reason, this one just really pops. Obviously, it's the colours. The colours really do make it. It really does look really nice, and the sculpt on the face is actually different, and I really do like it. It actually looks like a Jim Lee piece of art come to life. Just like the other one, it is very well sculpted, well detailed. Like I said before, we've got the joints which are painted the right colour this time. As we turn it round, we have a very nice sculpted cape, just like the black one. I think it's exactly the same. And yeah, it's just really nice. It is really nice. There is one thing that has just catch my eye, and it's this cap here in between the cape and the shoulders, the cape and the cowl. That is quite eye-catching. On my shelf you won't be able to see it, but it is something I've just noticed. I'm not sure whether I can move it around and fix that. I don't think so, but that is something that's caught my eye. But it's not a big issue at all. It's just something that caught my eye. It's just something I thought I'd mention. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring this Batman figure forward and we're going to have a look at them side by side. Here we have them next to each other, and I have just been examining them off camera to see if I can find any kind of difference in the figures. And if I'm being totally honest, I can't really find anything. Apart from the face sculpt, I can't really see a mega difference in the sculpt. I think it is basically the same figure. Actually, I'm quite sure of it. But like I said, for some reason, my favourite one is this. Even if this was painted correctly, I think my favourite one would still be this. I think it just really does stand out. It looks really nice. Like I said before, the colours pop. and I really do like the face sculpt on this one compared to the black variant, as you can see. And as we turn them round, you can see the sculpt on the cape is exactly the same. It is an identical figure. There's no difference in between them apart from the head sculpt and of course the colour. For me, like I keep saying, this one wins hands down. It is just beautiful. So there we are, the two variants together, so you can see them side by side. As you all know, I'm sure I've made it clear by now that I like this version. I like the blue and grey. I think it is hands down the best one. But that's not to say that this one isn't nice as well, and I think the set piece really does do it proud. I weren't originally going to keep the Hush figure, but I think I might now. Although Batman would probably actually look nice on this set piece on his own, I think the Hush figure just makes it, so I probably will keep him in my collection. But like I said, and I can't say it enough, I really do like this figure. I really do. Let me know in the comments which one is your favourite. Maybe you like this one, maybe you're completely different to me. Maybe you like this one. Though before we end today's video, I'm going to ask you something I've not asked before, and that is, if you like the content that I'm creating, please consider giving me a like and subscribing to my channel so that you don't miss out on any of the videos in the upcoming future. So without further ado, let's bring that camera closer and get a few action poses of these figures, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.